I booked my ticket. I bought a suitcase. What do I do in between? Follow the video. I'll have lots of travel tips for you, things you might not have thought of, especially if you're new to travel or traveler over 50. Some rules have changed, so follow the video. Hi, welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. This series of videos that we're doing is about preparing to travel. So you've booked your ticket, you've booked your accommodation, you haven't packed your suitcase yet, and you obviously haven't flown or got on that fantastic cruise. This is what you need to do before you leave and after you book your ticket. So just a short series of videos so that it just doesn't roll on and on and on. Some helpful travel tips, especially if you're new to traveling, or you're over 50s, haven't traveled for quite a while, or you've just never traveled. Just kind of going back to money. How do you carry your money? My husband actually wears a money belt, and he actually puts his jeans or his trousers, whatever he's wearing, so he puts it on, and then he puts the jeans or the trousers over the top, and then obviously his t-shirt down or whatever he's wearing. Two things: nobody can get to them. And they're usually, money belts are usually sort of attached by a thick piece of elastic. But, you know, if that elastic was to break, it's not just going to fall off. It's actually going to fall in your trousers. So my husband sort of likes that. It is, you know, a little bit cumbersome sometimes, but they fit really flat and will usually hold your passport as well as money. So it's not a bad idea. I carry a over-the-shoulder carry bag, fairly flat, and with different compartments in. What I do is when I convert my money wherever I'm going, I divide it into the certain denominations, and each note I fold and sort of sandwich together, and then that denomination I put in one partition, and so on and so forth, so that when I'm buying something, I can open my bag, I know, or I can see, you know, which partition's got which denomination, and I'm just pulling one note out or two notes out, so nobody actually knows. I'm not sitting there counting my wads of money. It's all very, very private, and I always feel a little bit safer that way, that if people are not, you know, going. Another thing I do, and I never wear my jewelry. So I've got a few rings, but I leave my jewelry and my necklace, at home. And I do this because some countries, they have a misconception that because you have jewelry and you're there on holiday, that you must have a lot of money. And I don't know about you, but my husband and I, we save usually for a whole year. And we travel to Thailand mostly. And so, you know, it's not easy for us to come up with that money. But I don't like making myself a target. So I just leave my jewelry at home. I actually leave it with a son who leaves it in his safe. So, you know, I do that. Yep, that's about all on jewelry. Visas. Now, you probably know that to go into another country, you usually need a visa. So these visas are either applied for online. Some are automatically given, so that you know, as long as you're only in the country between, like, say for 29 days, and leave, then that's an automatic. You don't have to apply. You just go in, and it's kind of given to you when you you know, go through the airport. Your travel agent should be able to help you that, or again, the websites will tell you and then tell you how to get it. But I just want to point out one thing, and I never knew this until we started traveling. We only started traveling in 2007. My husband had lived in Australia for 40 years or around that time then, and had a British passport. And I never gave this a second thought, but he actually has to get a visa to get back into Australia, even though he's lived there 40 years. And if he doesn't, he won't be allowed back in the country. So I think you buy the visa, and I think it's for 5 years. But you know, who thinks of that? I never thought of that. But that is how it is here in Australia. So if you're not in Australia, check out that if you leave your country, if you haven't got a passport for that country, check out that you're going to be able to get back. Because wouldn't that be awful? You're going on your holiday and you fly home, but you can't get back in the country. Ooh. Because of having medical conditions, when I travel, I found out where the nearest hospital that would be capable of looking after me, where that is, and I take the address and I take the phone number, and in fact, also the embassy of the country that I'm from, and I just laminate it on just a small, almost like a business card size, and I carry anyone I'm with, I give to carry. That way then, if something happened to me, then everyone knows where to take me. Not that it's been a while since I've needed medical help, but again, this is just something I do, and then I don't have to worry about it. And everyone knows where the best place is for me, and so we do that. So that's probably a good idea. It's probably a good idea even if you don't have any medical conditions. It's just about knowing where you are and looking after yourself. Because we do a lot of taking photos and videos when we're overseas. The first time we ever went, and I just want to tell you this story, because where I'm going with this is make sure you don't run out of memory space when you're taking photos or videos. We went on a tour, and there was just my husband and I, and there was no one else on the tour with us, and we had 2 tour guides with us, and they took us to a crocodile show in Thailand. So a crocodile show, if you don't know, is where there's usually 3 or 4 crocodiles in almost like a very shallow swimming pool area, and there's a couple of crocodile trainers, and so they go through a few things that the crocodiles kind of do, like move them around. They don't do tricks or anything like that, but they do get them to open their mouths, and then they put their arm in, and then inevitably they put their head in there. And so if you can picture this, so there's only us 2 in the whole of this place. And you know how when you go to an indoor swimming pool and it echoes? This is how this place was. So anyway, we've been taking like loads and loads. This is the first time ever that I'd gone anywhere overseas. And so, we've been taking lots and lots of photos. So this guy finally gets to the stage where he puts his head in the crocodile's mouth, and my camera runs out of memory space. And I'm like really loudly to my husband, like, oh my God, I've run out of memory. And we kind of like look at the guy with his head in the mouth as this crocodile, and he goes like this, and we're like, what? And he's like, no, he's not nodding his head, but he's going like this, and we're there. So we're trying to change the batteries and get another camera out and everything like that. So we do that, and then we look at him and we go like this, and then he continues, and we were like, that was really good of him to wait, but it was even better than that the crocodile waited. Because if the crocodile, I don't know, the crocodile just sat there. I've seen so many bad crocodile show incidents on YouTube. Oh, and I never wanted to run out of memory space again. So make sure that you've got lots of memory space. We actually take external hard drives, and I just download everything. And while we're talking about downloading, we actually take a power board with us, because in lots of hotels they will give you one adapter to convert from their electricity to your device, the electricity that your device needs. But because we've got 2 phones, 2 cameras, a laptop, we've got all this stuff, we don't have the time to sit there waiting for everything to charge up, and usually there's like 1 power point where we go. So we take a power board. It's not very weighty and it doesn't take up much room, but it saves a lot of time. So that might be something that you're interested in doing. But yeah, watch out for the memory space, because making sure no crocodile gets a chance to eat a trainer again. If you're leaving family behind, maybe someone's been sick and you're a bit worried, or you just want to keep in touch with grandchildren or your kids or your family back home, learn Skype. There's probably lots of other programs out there that the young people are using today. I use Skype because it was set up quite a few years ago on my computer systems. I know how to use it, and it's adequate for me. It's just really being able to see one-on-one and just having that moment. So if you can't Skype, again, ask somebody around you. You can even find out how to Skype on YouTube. YouTube's amazing. But yeah, learn how to Skype, and that's actually, you can have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and have that moment. You get them to load up their addresses on your laptop or whatever you're taking. That way then you're not having, you don't even really have to know what you're doing. But yeah, Skype, or whatever the latest craze is. Don't go on holiday and come back with a massive phone bill. Check out your phone's global capabilities. I wouldn't know how to do that other than go to the local telephone provider shop and ask their opinion. So what that is, if you're roaming, and I'm not very technical, so obviously roam is looking for a tower or something, but when you go overseas, there's not going to be any tower that's compatible with your network, but your phone can keep roaming and it can rack up a humongous bill. So you have to make sure that you're not going to come back and owe thousands of dollars. What we actually do is we get on the plane, we take our SIM card out. When we get to the country we're going, we buy a local SIM card. If there's an emergency of any kind, my kids or my family members know where I am and where my hotel is, etc. And if we want to ring them, it would only be an emergency that we need to ring them, and then we just use the hotel's phone. But check your phone global capabilities, because you've spent a great amount of money going on a fantastic holiday. You don't want to spend the next 12 months paying off a phone bill. So, yep, get it checked. And your phone needs to be unlocked if you're going to put a SIM card in it. Again, if you go to a shop of your provider or your network provider, they should be able to tell you whether your phone's unlocked. And if you unlock it, I don't know, I just know my phone's unlocked, but that's something to check as well.